All right, good afternoon, class. This is Britton Kuhlman. I'm going to present how photosynthesis works from my office at Carter Lake Reservoir in northern Colorado. So, photosynthesis is essentially a fancy word for how plants make their own food. And breaking it down, the word photo means light, and synthesis means put together. So, using light and putting together other nutrients and making their own food. So the three major things needed for photosynthesis, the first one is light, which we get from the sun. The second is water, which we get from the soil. And the third is carbon dioxide, or CO2, which we get from the air. So I'm going to bring you over to this awesome drawing I made. And as you can see, this is a diagram of photosynthesis. So up here is the sun. It's red because I didn't have an orange marker. So I want to zoom in on a couple areas. This obviously is a plant, its stem, its roots. It's in the soil. So I want to zoom in here, and this is a zoomed in section of the stem. And this is actually called xylem in here. Think of this almost as a straw in the stem of the plant. This is able to move nutrients and shuttle down water, as well as moving CO2 throughout the entire plant. And it can move nutrients from the ground to the leaves, to the stems, to the branches, etc. Another way to think of this, the xylem is like blood vessels. So the next zoomed in part kind of looks like a slice of pizza, but this is actually a zoomed in leaf from over here. You can see this is the red leaf over here. These circles are called stomata. Kind of think of them like pores on your skin. This is where the exchange of gases happen. That's where it absorbs CO2 and will release oxygen. A cool thing is it'll absorb CO2, and when CO2 is mixed with the water and has light energy present, it will then create oxygen as well as glucose. Glucose, some of it will be used right away to live, and some will be transported into xylem and stored to be used when it's cloudy. Because remember, photosynthesis, you need the light to work, so when it's cloudy, it can use the stored glucose in the xylem and survive. So, very quickly here, so CO2 will be absorbed in the stomata, come down into the xylem, and H2O, or water, will be absorbed through the roots in the xylem, as well as nutrients will be absorbed through the roots, come up into the xylem. And when those things meet, again, with the presence of light, photosynthesis will happen, and through the stomata, the oxygen will be released, and that is the oxygen we breathe. So again, I know this is very crude, but so sunlight's beaten down, CO2 comes in through the stomata. At the same time, water is coming up through the roots, being transported through the xylem, which is like blood vessels. That meets the presence of light. Photosynthesis happens. We come back up here to the stomata once again. Oxygen is released through the air, and we can breathe. Again, very crude, but just a quick rendition of photosynthesis. Thank you.